Breathing Space Fading Frontier contains adult language and situations, including alcohol use and romantic relationships. This episode includes scenes of police violence against protestors. Additional sensory contact warnings can be found in the show notes.
I ain't got no home to go to, ain't got nothing to sell, but my stars will never leave me, even when I'm sold to hell. I was born under a blue sky, and I'll die out in the black. When I'm gone, don't no one mourn me, 'cause my debts will drag me back.
Attention associates, this is a reminder that all liquids, including water, are not allowed in the faster pods. A dry pod is a safe pod. All beverages should be consumed on the allocated refresh and renew breaks only. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Remember, you put the U in YuKon. Attention associates, all associates on Team Beaver. First shift begins in 10 minutes. Please stow all personal items, sign into your assigned faster pod, and be prepared to log on at the tone. Orders have been preloaded to the system. An early employee is a productive employee. Your shift begins at the entrance to the building, not the hatch to your pod. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Remember, you put the U in YuKon.
Just that I've been taking double shifts since the facility took on the Ocular Helios delivery sector. Not that I mind. It's great to get so many hours. So I was wondering if I could maybe get off a couple hours early, the last Friday of next month. Since my schedule changed, I'm not home in the evenings anymore. My daughter's turning 8 and we're going to have a little party. Not too early, maybe at 7 instead of 10. I could pick up a couple of hours another day if I...
Thank you for interacting with the remote manager system. You are a valuable employee.
Jamila Vittori.
But as stated in the YuKon Order Production Fulfillment Specialist Handbook, all time-off requests must be presented in writing, no fewer than 30 business days prior to the requested date.
I tried to send the request in last month, but the Specialist Resource Hub was down for almost 2 weeks.
The Specialist Resource Hub is there to make your life easier. We apologize for any inconvenience this unexpected downtime caused. However, we do not find this sufficient justification for making an exception to policy. Time-off requests may also be submitted in person at the Specialist Resource Center, located in every production and fulfillment facility.
I tried to do that too. The center is only open during regular working hours. I was scheduled 6 to 6 until this week. I tried to go on my lunch, but I didn't have enough time. Look at my file. I got 6 UGOs from my supervisors last year, and my attendance is almost perfect. I know it would be an exception, but...
We're sorry.
Jamila Vittori.
But your file also indicates 3 disciplinary interventions for clocking out early in the past 12-month period. Per YuKon policy, this disqualifies you from all time-off exceptions and exemptions until 6 months after the last infraction.
Clocking out early? It was less than a minute. The next specialist needed to clock in so he wouldn't be late, and
We're sorry. We're not able to process further requests regarding this matter via this unit. If your needs have not been met, or you have further questions, please reach out to your Production and Fulfillment Specialist Liaison, available in the Specialist Resource Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. Appointments can be made with a liaison through this remote manager droid by saying, appointment.
Appointment.
Thank you.
Jamila Vittori.
The next available Production and Fulfillment Specialist Liaison is...
Friday the 21st at 3:25 p.m.
Would you like to make this appointment?
That's nearly a month away.
Would you like to make this appointment?
No. Goddamn robot.
Please remember that inappropriate language is not part of a happy and healthy workplace, and that we have a zero-tolerance policy for harassment. Your record has been updated with this infraction. Can I help you with anything else today?
No.
Thank you.
Jamila Vittori.
Have a wonderful day, and remember,
You put the U in YuKon.
Ladies and gentlemen of the stars, I ask you, what is it that the rich man builds? Does he make the engine of the starship go? Does he mine for the fuel? Does he make the rations? No. He stays in his office, and the only thing he builds are his bank accounts. You may have no homes, but you have worth. You are workers. The intergalactic workers movement wants you. We will unite across the industries. One big galaxy. One big...
What do you think you're doing?
Hey, we were listening to that.
Oh, not in my home, you weren't.
We live here too. We have every right.
Whose name is on the lease?
Yours, but still, just because I sublet doesn't mean I can't.
And why are you subleasing?
I'm not eligible for a company lease from YuKon until I worked off my company demerits.
Exactly. I'm already stretching the rules letting you live here at all. I could be in deep trouble if you go stirring things up. I've told you 1,000 times, Angus, just keep your head down, get your work done, put in your time, and get promoted. Then when you've got seniority, if you still are interested in all this union talk, you'll be in a position to do something.
How many senior employees do you hear talking about change?
Well, if they offer you a promotion, Angus, I'll be happy to take it.
Bad day?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. Trouble with your printers again?
No, they finally cleaned the printing heads for the bioprinter, managed to get the entire shift done with only one reprint for allergen cross-contamination. The fab is still slower than it should be, but if I can cut time out in packing, I still stay on schedule to meet quota.
Oh. Then, Miriam's birthday. You're not going to be able to be here, are you?
No, I'm sorry, love. I tried everything, and they just can't spare me.
She's going to be upset.
I know, I just...
Mama!
Hey, Ace. How was school?
Boring. Carson dared TJ to eat something out of the bioprinter's NEM recycling bin at lunch, and he did. And then he threw up. The remote teacher sent Carson to the principal, but he still had to give TJ his chocolate milk.
Sounds like you had a busy day.
Why can't we eat NEM? It goes into the bioprinter and we can eat what it makes. So why can't we just eat it before it's printed?
Tired of waiting to get your lunch?
Mama, I'm serious.
Love, you want to take this? You're the nutrition tech, not me.
Come here, Ace. Let Mama change out of her work clothes. We can eat raw material that goes into bioprinters, but it isn't very good for us. It's nutrient-rich material, but because it's mostly made of plant and algae, our bodies weren't designed to break it down. Some kinds of animals can, because they have different kinds of stomachs, but they mostly live on Terra or in the bigger bubbles. For us to eat it, it has to already get broken up some. That's what the printer does. Break down the stuff we can't eat so it's easier for our bodies to process, and put it back together into a shape that we want to eat.
Like chicken nuggets?
Like chicken nuggets. Some people who don't have good jobs like your mama and me have to eat raw NEM. But we don't eat the raw material or the bits that get recycled because our bodies don't always know what to do with it and will
throw it up.
Jamila, you agree, right? With Dr. Gold?
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Do you agree with Dr. Gold about YuKon, about how we need a union?
I mean, I guess. Sure, they're hard to work for, but it's work. It's not perfect, but what job is? If I worked somewhere else, maybe I'd make more, but, I'd be paying more in rent and healthcare and for Miriam's school. YuKon's got plenty of problems, but with all the perks, it could be worse. And anyway, it doesn't matter. Even if I thought Jorgensen and all he stood for were evil incarnate, nothing would change. The company's too big. It has too much support. I bet most of those people out there chanting slogans wouldn't be willing to give up overnight delivery anywhere in the system so a few of us could be at our kids' birthday parties.
What about what happened with the HVAC people? The CO2 reclaimers and the oxygen generator workers? They went on strike and 2 weeks later they got the APU. We could do that. And people do care. Even if it costs them just a little bit more. Dr. Gold and the IWM say...
Your job's skilled labor, then?
What?
What you do? Working the faster pods? That'd take a lot of skill and training.
I mean, kind of. You have to time everything really well to make sure the line stays moving and you don't get behind so you meet your order fulfillment quota for the day.
Anyone know that?
Nah, people think it's just push this button, thing they ordered gets printed. Push this button, you get a box. Put it in the box, push that button, and it gets shipped out.
Exactly.
I still don't know what you mean.
She's saying they'd just replace you.
Exactly. There are hundreds of people around this processing and fulfillment center alone that would love the job security you've got. Someone who hasn't seen a doctor in a decade? Ask them if they want to work for YuKon with their company clinics. Go on strike, they'll just toss you and bring on one of them.
But the HVAC
are highly trained people who have either gone to school or apprenticed, and everyone knows it. Also, you can't just decide to boycott your atmosphere. It's sort of a do-or-die thing. And neither of those apply to us. The Atmo companies had to recognize the union, and YuKon just doesn't.
Dr. Gold said that if we all stand together, nothing can break us.
Well, Dr. Gold hasn't gotten up close and personal with Mounties or their hounds. If you want to pretend to be a revolutionary, you're gonna get yourself killed or, worse, fired. And I don't want to go down with you. You play those recordings in your room, or not at all.
Hey, Jamila! Jamila! Jamila!
What?
Did you hear what happened?
Huh?
What happened at the shipping hub with the couriers?
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I don't have time to waste talking. I'm backed up at the airlock with orders already.
You're gonna want to hear it, because it may not matter how far behind you are.
What? You're right.
I'm serious. One of them got killed. A courier sucked right out his own rear airlock.
What?
Yep. You know how they're always rushing to get loaded and get out? Well, this guy was in such a hurry he didn't check his seals. The loading flap was cracked, still open a little bit. Didn't notice while he was inside, but he got out of the bubble and whoosh, pulled right out through the gap. They had to wash bits and pieces of him off the packages, put the deliveries a whole day behind.
That's awful.
Gotta laugh, or what else are you gonna do? Anyways, the couriers are talking. They're saying they all do that. Skip checking the door seals to save time. Cuts a few minutes off, and they barely meet quota as it is.
Yeah, well, it's part of the job. They take on the risk.
Attention associates, all associates on Team Goose. Your afternoon 10-minute refresh renew break begins now. Walk around, stretch. Remember, healthy bodies get plenty of exercise. We encourage you to enjoy the Refresh Renew Sculpture Garden located in Sector Green 7 or view one of our many custom-designed artistic water features. Please return to your faster pod before the end of the Refresh Renew break when attendance infraction will be marked against your file. And remember, you put the U in YuKon.
They take the risk and they get paid for it.
Not enough to get turned into jelly. They're talking about a strike.
What? Over one accident?
Yeah.
Why?
They aren't keeping up on the delivery shuttles. My cousin's a courier over at Distribution Hub 1994. He says his ship hasn't been serviced in years. They just fill out logs, add some oil, give the hydrogen buffers a shine, and send them back into the field. He says that even if the door was cracked, with a proper seal, it would have been fine. Or even if there wasn't a seal, the alarm should have gone off way before he got out of the bubble. He says that the older the ships get, the more accidents we're going to see. Because God knows they aren't going to fix anything. Did you know they've got couriers running actually to the Ocula Helio station?
Isn't that inside the sun's...
The sun's corona, yeah.
Are the courier ships...
They're not rated for anything near that much radiation, so they're just soaking it up. And my cousin says Sol's rad output has jumped nearly 200 millisieverts in the past month, and nobody's talking about it.
Still, that's dangerous. What'll he do if he loses his job?
Probably do better than if he gets killed.
Sure, but even you said if that courier had done things right, there wouldn't have been a problem. Can't blame the company for his own negligence. At least, that's what people are going to say. You know nothing will ever stick to YuKon. Hell, I bet Preston Jorgensen could kill someone, and people would thank him, as long as he keeps their delivery times and prices down. Nothing's ever going to change that.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time someone tried.
Attention associates, this is a reminder that inappropriate behavior with other team members is strictly prohibited by YuKon. Our company is a family, and we strive to keep that family safe, welcoming, and professional. Any unwanted socialization, including but not limited to unsolicited talk between pods, excessive mingling of associates from different teams, and after-hours social activities that do not include all YuKon staff are strictly prohibited and will result in an infraction against your record. When in doubt, avoid making people uncomfortable. If you wonder if you shouldn't talk to someone, be smart and don't. And remember, you put the U in YuKon.
Alongside them, like the HVAC workers, these brave individuals are standing up to exploitation and abuse, risking their very lives to declare their labor, their sweat, and their time to have value. And they're doing it loudly. Will you join them? Will you join us? The YuKon couriers are our family, our siblings in the great fight for the rights of the worker. We must support them as they struggle against one of the most insidious institutions in the system. We must be willing to risk just as much as they. None of us are free from the chains of these corporations, if even one still remains yoked to them. Rise up alongside us, bring the couriers, and indeed every facility worker in every facility around the system into the intergalactic workers movement. I am myself going to Dion to Production and Fabrication Facility 1990 to stand shoulder to shoulder with my siblings. The demonstrations have already begun. Together, we will...
It's just me.
Oh, yeah. Hi. How are you? She's coming. Dr. Gold is coming here. We're going to show them. We're going to change everything. You're gonna join, right?
Join what?
The great struggle, the push for recognition of the inherent dignity of the worker, the revolution to overthrow the bosses and their hegemonic plutocracy. The strike!
No.
Jamila, we're making history!
Which is great, and I'm glad. God knows it would be nice to have some things around here change. I support you. I really do.
Then come with me. Leaders from all over the system. They're making Dion the center of the YuKon general strike. Everyone's on alert. It could start at any time. We're going to really say something.
I can't.
Why?
I have a spouse, Angus, and we have a kid. We can't afford to rock the boat. Even if it were just me who got out there and marched, that salary isn't enough for us to live on. And I know if I got out there, they'd want to too. And I will not let them. I'll leave the revolutions to you young people.
Jamila, you're 37.
which is practically middle age, which is most of the way to dead.
Whatever you say, Grandma. But pretty soon, this will get so big that everybody will be a part of it. You won't have to worry, because we'll be in the streets. We'll take back our lives from the company, and then you'll see how much people can do when they stand together.
Mounting tension between YuKon workers and management polarizes system. Preston Jorgensen continues to decline to comment. This is York Ventura for Redline U838, the voice of the system. Following a series of accidents across several production and shipping facilities, shopping giant YuKon has become the most recent target of the so-called intrastellar workers movement. Under the direction of Dr. Gold, several industries around the system have begun the formation of new workers' unions, lashing out against individuals and organizations they deem to be enforcers of a repressive plutocracy. Following the effective formation of the IWU-8 VAC, couriers employed by YuKon have begun efforts to obtain collective bargaining rights and other concessions. Several small clashes have occurred at YuKon facilities between employees and the YuKon Mobile Operative Unit Neo-Tactical Implementation Experts, Mounties, though thus far, actions have remained localized. It has, however, been reported that that fact may soon change, as a general strike has been called to begin in the next weeks. Preston Jorgensen, founder and CEO of YuKon, has remained silent regarding the friction, though in prior interviews he has been reported as saying that unionization was not necessary for YuKon because of their employee-driven, family values-based management style. U838 was told by Jorgensen's agent that
They could not be any more obvious with their bias. It's like they're just waiting for a chance to call us a mob or looters or say that we're rioting. The mainstream media wants to turn everyone against—
Oh my god, shut up, Angus. I am so sick of
Not
you.
at the dinner table.
This is important. It affects all of us as employees of YuKon. We need to stay current and be ready to act.
I have had it up to here with his activism. All he can see is the excitement of it. He has no idea how it's going to affect real
If you're going
work.
to have this argument again, I would appreciate it if you'd go somewhere else to do it. My daughter doesn't need to be subjected to any more than she absolutely has. Lynette, sweetheart, your hand, are you okay?
I'm fine. No, really, it's okay. I'm fine. There was just some trouble at work.
What happened? Ace, you want to take your dinner and finish it with that new hollow?
Can I?
Go ahead.
And don't make a mess in there or I'll feed you to the bioprinter.
What happened? Where did those cuts come from? You look like you got in a fight with a bailing machine.
Well, kind of. People have been talking about things, what they think, what could happen, good or bad. I mean, not a lot, and not where anyone can hear them, but it's all over the R&R Center. People are saying that if the nutrition techs get on board, we're actually essential workers. Even Van says that no one would actually know how to run the industrial bioprinters if we all got sick on the same day. That people would notice if they had to eat unprocessed Nemlet.
See? Even veteran employees
Let
think—
her finish. Okay, but how?
Attention associates, all associates on Team Loon, your shift has come to an end. Thank you for your hard work as part of the YuKon family. Please finish any orders still in your queue prior to punching out. Unfinished orders are late orders. We appreciate your thoroughness and pride in a job well done. Be advised that work completed after the end of your scheduled shift will not be compensated, even if you have not logged your shift end. Be sure to punch out promptly. We value your commitment to the YuKon Next Day delivery promise. And remember, you put the U in YuKon.
It was an accident.
Lynette, what happened?
What did those fat cat pigs do?
What are they, cats or pigs?
We had just finished with the dinner rush. I went outside to get a breath of fresh air. You know how the kitchens get when all of the printers are running at once. There were all these flyers scattered around, so I picked one up. I mean, why not? There were hundreds.
That's an IWM technique, organizing via actual physical paper. They call it leafletting. It's better than comm or redline broadcasts. It can't be hijacked. Gets the truth straight into the hands of the people so we can assemble and we can rebel.
What did it say?
It was a call to a general strike and work stoppage next week for all YuKon employees.
Our time has finally come.
Shut up, Angus. That doesn't explain how you got hurt.
It was a drone. One of those new ones that can fly. I guess they have them set up to do street sweeping, because a couple of them were going around vacuuming up the flyers and shredding them. I guess they were programmed to identify waste paper?
Are you trying to tell us a street sweeping drone cut your hands up? Impossible. All YuKon drones have safety blocks. Anything dangerous would have turned itself off as soon as it touched you.
I thought so too. So I didn't really worry when it came over. But when it got hold of the paper, it didn't let go. I sort of pulled on it because I wasn't finished reading. I thought it would just let go and move on. But it didn't. The shredding attachment just kept coming. I was so surprised I didn't move until it had already cut me some.
I told you! I've been talking to people on the comms. They have killer drones, one that are programmed to...
I don't know. This could have just been an oversight. Or maybe a bug. There's no way they'd override blocks. Is there? It'd be illegal, for one thing.
The people who make the laws don't care if they break them. Just wait. Pretty soon they'll have drones out there responding to threats with force. They'll say it's for our own protection, but...
I don't believe it. Sure, YuKon management is a bunch of assholes, but they aren't going to hurt their own employees. I wouldn't put it past them to require mandatory overtime or something, but they aren't going to send killer robots after us. We keep this company running. They need us.
You were the one who said we were replaceable.
It was probably just a bug. And it didn't really do any damage. They aren't even really cuts. More like scratches. Come on, love. Give me a hand cleaning them up? Everything is going to be fine. We'll just keep our heads down and stay out of trouble. And this will all blow over.
Attention associates. Remember, littering on YuKon Company property is strictly prohibited. Our campuses are our homes. Please respect them. We value a clean, beautiful atmosphere and strive to provide a stimulating environment for our valuable employees. Per the YuKon Employee Handbook, inappropriate discarding of trash or other materials may result in up to 3 infractions marked in your file. Thank you for your cooperation. And remember, you put the U in YuKon.
Lynette? Lynette? Miriam?
We're right here.
Mama!
Get inside, come on. Get away from the windows. Back here. Come on, sweetheart. It's okay. We're okay. Just stay back. Our room will be safer. It's okay.
What happened? We were at the L tram stop by our school. It had just pulled up and we got on and then this crowd of people running up the street under us. Hundreds of them. The tram pulled out, but people were climbing up the platform and trying to get on the train. But you know they don't stop once the doors closed and...
Why were the Mounties shooting at us?
They weren't shooting at you, sweetheart. They were shooting at the other... It's all right now. We're going to keep you safe right here. The strike, the protests, it was today.
I don't know. It wasn't on the news, just all of a sudden people and gas. Some kind of... I don't know. We were over it in the L tram, but people looked like they couldn't breathe. They just started falling down and...
Shh. You're home, love. Come on, Lynn, pull yourself together. You're scaring her more than she already was.
They were using drones. The Mounties. Flying ones, but also ones on the ground. 4 legs. They looked like big dogs with square heads. I swear, I saw them kill someone.
That's not possible. Drones and remotes can't. There's a law.
I know, but one of them jumped on a guy and knocked him down, and he hit his head on the pavement. There was so much blood, and it just stood there on him and...
Attention associates. Please be advised that at this time, all associates and their families are requested to remain indoors as a facility-wide curfew has been put into effect until further notice. You are valuable members of the YuKon team and your safety is of paramount concern to us. Associates not currently at their place of residence should remain where they are. Temporary complementary accommodations will be made. The YuKon Mobile Operative Unit, neo-tactile implementation experts, Mounties, and remotely operated overhead kinetic implementation experts, rookie drones, have been dispatched to patrol all commercial, residential, and manufacturing areas to preserve the peaceful and welcoming atmosphere we strive for. Those found outside residences or other facilities will be escorted to the nearest Associate Liaison Center and will have infractions marked against their file. Our associates are our most valuable asset and one that we strive to protect. Remember, you put the U in YuKon.
Still down, nearly 12 hours after the initial report of shots fired. This is York Ventura reporting for Redline U838, the voice of the system, with the latest breaking news on the riots at YuKon Production and Fabrication Facility 1990 on the asteroid Dione. The facility is reported to have been locked down since 6 p.m. UST yesterday, and a full communications blackout put into place. It appears that labor activists with the support of the Intragalactic Workers Movement attempted a work stoppage and general strike, prompting YuKon management to implement countermeasures. It is unclear as to the cause, but there have been reliable reports that YuKon security has been fully mobilized and has been engaging in violent clashes with rioters. Prior to the blackout, there were reports of several dead and hundreds injured. When asked for comment, YuKon representatives stated that the events on Dione were a matter of internal company negotiations that could not be discussed publicly. Though no official statements have been made, Redline U838's economics reporter Violetta Deku hypothesizes that the asteroid has been placed into a state of emergency and will remain that way until hostilities have been quelled, with the people of Dione remaining in a perpetual lockdown until such time.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Breathe in Space, Fading Frontier. This episode, Attention Associates, was written by Lisa Guente, directed by Lisa Guente, and edited by Eric Seguente. The voice of YuKon was voiced by Jeremiah. Jamila Batory was voiced by Vanessa Haas. The remote manager droid was voiced by Bunny. Dr. Gold was voiced by Tom Freitag. Amanda Achterberg was voiced by Olivia Cottle. Angus Sparacello was voiced by AJ Garcia. Mocha was voiced by Rude Dickey. York Ventura was voiced by Sean Geddes. Our theme, Blues for the Black, was composed by Michael Freitag with vocals by Jeremiah and lyrics by Scott Paladin. You can find more links to learn about our cast and crew in the show notes and more information about our show at our website, breatheinspace.lawofnames.com. Breathe in Space, Fading Frontier is a Law of Names production.